everyone, welcome back. My name is Miss Yulin and I'm part of the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Los Angeles. This week for Arts and Crafts, we're going to be doing a really fun activity using paper plates and watercolors. All you will need are these two supplies and also a few other things. I'm going to go over that in just a minute, but before we start, I want you guys to do an Energizer activity. This Energizer activity is going to help you think about what is your favorite flower, and then you're going to copy your favorite flower for this activity. So let's take around 20 seconds to think about our favorite flowers, okay? Go ahead. Okay, 20 minutes is up. What flowers did you come up with? So for me, my favorite flowers are sunflowers and poppies. So for today's art activity, I'm going to be making my watercolor flowers look like sunflowers and poppies. So I'll be using a lot of yellow and orange watercolors. So grab your materials and let's begin this activity. So as I mentioned, for this activity, you'll need paper plates. It's important to have around 3 or 4 paper plates. Next, you will need a glass or a cup of water. After that, you will need a pencil. And then you will also need a paintbrush. And then you will also need watercolors to color with your paintbrush. And lastly, you will need a pair of scissors, just like these. And that's all the supplies you will need. For our first step, go ahead and grab a pencil and start tracing this flower shape that you see here onto a paper plate. Altogether, we are going to have 3 sizes of different flowers. So the first size is the largest, which is the one that you see here. You are going to trace around the entire paper plate and make sure your flower is big, just like this one. I'm just drawing the petals of the flower first. It might not look like a flower yet, but pretty soon everything will come together and create a beautiful flower. Just wait and see. After you are done tracing your large flower, you want to trace a medium-sized flower, just like you see here. And after that, trace a small flower, which only takes up the center of the paper plate. Now that we're done tracing our flowers, it is time to grab a pair of scissors and start cutting all of the flowers that we traced. Start with the biggest flower and cut on the pencil lines that you drew. Do you think our project is starting to look like a flower yet? Everything will start coming together and looking like a flower after you cut all 3 of your paper plates. Since our project is centered around flowers, I think it is time for a flower fact. Did you know that roses, which are a type of flower, are related to apples, raspberries, cherries, peaches, plums, nectarines, pears, and almonds? That's so cool, right? Did you know that roses are related to all of these things? Here's another flower fact for you. The largest flower in the world is called the Titan arans, and this flower grows up to 10 feet high and 3 feet wide. This flower is known for smelling bad because it eats other flowers. When you are done cutting all 3 of your paper plates, it is time to start coloring with our watercolor paints. Before you start painting, make sure to lay some newspaper or cardboard under your flower so that you don't make a big mess as you're painting. To use your watercolors, get a cup of water and dip your paintbrush in the water. Then dip that into your watercolor paints and start painting all over your flower. What colors are you choosing to use for your flower? Here I'm using yellow and orange, and this is because my two favorite flowers are sunflowers and poppies, and these are the colors for them. I want to combine them together to create a unique flower. For this next step, you are going to grab all of your flowers and you're going to fold up the petals, just like you see here. Make sure to do this for all three of your flowers. Up next, you're going to grab some glue. You can either use a glue bottle or a glue stick and put some glue on the back of your flowers. And then you're going to stack them up and glue them together. Remember that the biggest flower goes on the bottom, and then the medium flower next, and lastly, the small flower goes on top. For some finishing touches on your flower, go ahead and grab a black marker and draw dots on the center of your flower. Okay, by now you should be done with your watercolor flower. How did yours come out? Was this activity challenging for you? Sometimes it's hard to work with watercolors because if you add too much water, the watercolor doesn't really appear. And if you add too little water, it's hard to work with. So I'm really proud of you guys for overcoming these challenges while you worked on your watercolor flower. I'm sure it came out really beautiful. And go ahead and show your family members or your friends the art project that you just made. I hope you guys had a lot of fun doing this. And please join me again next week for a brand new arts and crafts activity. Okay, bye everyone!